It's our pleasure to have Dr. Peter Taylor with us and Jemima Militti with us as well. And we're going to be talking about their life and their hope in Christ.
You ready to go back in?
Jemima, if I can come to you first, you're very welcome. I don't know how else to do this other than just say to you, you're not a well lady, are you?
Short answer, no. So when I was born back in 1998, I was diagnosed with a long-term illness called cystic fibrosis.
Okay.
Back then, that was a bit of a death sentence. Things have advanced in the past few years recently. So I was born into a family of 4 boys. I was the first girl, so it was a big celebration. But pretty soon after I was born, I was rushed to Crumlin and 2 days later diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. And for those of you who don't know what cystic fibrosis is, it's a progressive illness. So the older you get, the worse it gets. And in short, it's a production of abnormal mucus in your lungs, digestive system, pancreas, which in turn can affect your liver, kidneys, even your fertility. So basically, the older you get, the worse it gets. And it kind of erodes your lungs over time so that you eventually need a lung transplant, or in some cases, a double lung transplant. And obviously, they don't grow on trees. So unfortunately, many people with CF would have died, which is why the life expectancy when I was born globally was 10,
Right.
and in Ireland it was 16, 17.
And you've kind of surpassed all of
Yes.
it, yeah?
Yeah.
And to say that you got this illness, thank you. Just looking at you now, you wouldn't know from looking at you and talking to you all day, you wouldn't know at all. How do you deal with it?
So I was very blessed. I was born into a Christian family. Both my mom and dad are born-again Christians. Mm-hmm. So they would have a very biblical perspective on suffering, sickness, health. That being that every person is made in the image of God. We are crafted by God in the womb. Our life has value. It has meaning. We are to be protected. But also that the meaning in our life is to know God and to have a personal relationship with Him. So I kind of relied or piggybacked on my parents' faith for the first 19 years of my life, because I had kind of deceived myself into thinking that by being born into a Christian family, that made me a Christian. But Jesus did say you must be born again. Mm-hmm. And by the grace of God, at the age of 19, God saved me. I was born again. I truly put my faith in Him. And I now know that death is not something that I have to fear as a Christian, because when I die, cystic fibrosis, this body will be left in the ground. But I will go on to meet Him in eternity. I will go to heaven, and that I don't have to worry about death anymore because I'm forgiven.
That's where your hope is.
Yes.
And this is Hope Ireland. That's what this is all about.